All right, we are live. Welcome back to the
Hi.
Psychic Shari YouTube channel. Another good show for you today. We've got Joe, one of the channel subscribers. Sherry got a chance to do a mini read on him a couple of days ago. We'll see that. We're going to do our topic for today, Sherry's paranormal adventures. We did a couple of videos on that earlier. She's got a lot to share for us. Few today involving Paranormal Adventures house in Las Vegas. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Um, you had quite an adventure, I would say, down there, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
We're going to be doing some alphabet readings today for everybody that's watching this video live or in the future. They should apply to you. Discuss any questions you might have in the comments section. And of course, if anybody wants any readings, just post that in the chat, post a comment in the chat, and we'll get to you as soon as we can. So we're going to start off with Sherry's reading a couple of days ago. Now, remember, these are all pre-recorded just to make sure that if there's anything that's very emotional, very private, we can edit those things out before they go live. Because once they go live, that's it. It's done. So this was recorded a couple of days ago. Sherry had a reading with Joe. Joe's got a lot on his plate, doesn't he, Sherry?
Yeah, he does.
He's
Yeah.
quite a bit going. So let's take a look at that and see how that went.
Okay. All right. So that's all we need. I'm just scanning your energetic field here just a bit. One thing that they're showing me is, of course, they're showing me your aura. They're showing me a couple of things, actually. Your aura. And of course, it feels like we've got some people kind of tethered to you. So you might feel like you're being pulled in a lot of different directions. They're also showing me, and some of those feel like that they can be unhooked, um, but you kind of choose to have them kind of drag them along, I guess we want to say. Another thing they're showing me is they're showing me your chakras and the root chakra. We would want to give you a suggestion of are you familiar with chakras?
Yep, I'm familiar with chakras. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Envision that they're all going the same way. You could like put your hand down by your hip and then bring it up, your right hand, bring it up like that, and envision that they're all going the same way
Okay.
and that they're all the same um, in diameter. I like to have mine about that big, all the way up, the seven
Oh,
of them. But really focus on the root chakra. Um, that is the foundation, and we just feel like that is a little bit wobbly, could possibly even be going a different direction.
okay.
Another thing that they're showing me is that your spirit team is asking you to be a chess player instead of a checker player. And what they mean by that is they're asking you to think at least 2 to 3 steps ahead when you are in a situation with family members, with coworkers, anything of that nature. They just want you to be a couple of steps ahead because the people that not, it feels like there's two, and one might be where you work and one might be in the family, where they might switch up on what, I don't want to say their personality, but it's something like that, that they're kind of hard to, it's almost like you don't know if you're going to deal with a Jekyll or Hyde.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
that makes perfect sense. Yes. My mother, boy, oh boy. So I never know what I'm gonna get. So I'm trying to deal through this situation with my little sibling that's now in my custody, and dealing with her on a daily basis is just it's fun times.
Okay, so you do have a lot on your plate. Um, and that's okay because Spirit shows me your plate and she's using symbolism. Your plate still has a lot of room on it. So you, even though it seems like a lot, they're
Mm.
saying you're not to the breaking point.
Oh,
That just keep the focus, keep the goal in mind, and that will help you to just take it baby steps, take it one step at a time instead of trying to look too far into the future. because they're saying, boy, there's a lot of moving parts here, a lot of different things going in and out. Don't be too proud to ask for help. We're seeing some family members, things of this nature, and not all of them are family. You might get some help from outside of the family as well, and they're saying take all the help you can get.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Um, and all of the advice. Again, they keep showing me this revolving door. And it's just keep going and going and going, almost like you're in the center of this, almost like you're in the center of a twister.
Hmm.
But they're just saying it'll be okay, because just like with every storm, this too shall pass. So it's not going to last forever. And just try to take it. If one day at a time is too much, then take it an hour at a time or a half hour at a time. And don't be, sometimes they're telling me that you are good at maybe stuffing down your emotions, especially if they're anger or sadness. They're just saying don't be trying to stuff down all of your emotions. Make sure that you vent and try to get these out, and that will help. And that will help to bring in helpers
Okay.
when you voice how you feel, because they said you're pretty good at just stuffing them down and just trying to mow through it by yourself. And they're saying they don't want that to be the case this go around, they said.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see what else we've got going on here. Um, oh, they're kind of showing me like a cluttered house is a cluttered mind, but that's okay. Just try to. I don't know if you have a lot of things. It kind of feels like a small home with a lot of things in it. Um, and that's okay as long as it's organized and you know where everything is. That's good. I'm asking Spirit what else is going on here. Again, I guess the moral of this. Oh, thank you, Irene. She's saying there's a lot of new beginnings coming too.
Okay.
A lot of areas, and it's not just with maybe your mom or your siblings, maybe even with the job too. Feels like a lot of different things are going to start to happen, almost as a domino effect. It feels like it's already started to take hold here. They are telling me, of course, there's a lot of healing coming in, and but your spirit team is also cautioning you to make sure that you take care of you. You tend to put everybody else ahead of you or in front of you, and then you're kind of at the back of the bus,
Yeah.
especially with the way that you eat, and try to get enough sleep.
Okay. Yeah, I've been struggling with the sleeping, and I have been drinking too much. So yeah, I gotta start to take care of myself.
That's okay. Again, one day at a time. Rome wasn't built in a day, so don't beat yourself up. Just try to do the best that you can do. And they're also talking about the stress levels too. Maybe doing some different type of breath work would help as well. And I don't know if you could do some energy work or breath work with other people in your home. That might help too, because it feels like you're an empath and you're soaking up all of the emotions of everyone in the home. And it thank you, Irene. What she's saying is it's almost like you transmute their trauma or their sadness or their pain on a certain level, that you can pull it into you, which makes them feel better, but yet now you've got it. So
Okay. Yeah.
once you pull it in to yourself, and you may be doing this on an unconscious level, but Spirit is saying once you pull it in, then send it back out to them energetically, peace and love and whatever it is that you want them to have. That thank you, Irene. So if you're going to pull it in, because
Hmm.
you're able to transmute it, you're able to bring it in and get rid of it. And then in the same time, on the next breath out, send out love and compassion and
Okay.
understanding.
Okay.
And that might even be something that you can work with, like I said, with other people in your family as well, is some energy work. Because I'm just seeing everybody at all different levels. Are there a lot of people that live in your home?
Yeah, it's about 4 or 5 of us. Yep.
Okay. Because I'm seeing everybody, and a lot of times that's the way it goes. Everybody's at different levels. Um, and and they're just saying, keep in mind, um, it's people will rise up to the highest in the home. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to pull you down. um, I don't want to say to their level, because that's not right, because we all go through different things and it affects our moods. There's days when I feel I could climb Mount Everest, and then there's days where I feel like I can't even get out of the bed. So the moods will change, and that's what we're seeing in your home. But they're telling me that they are going to start to level out. It's going to take a while, um, but they're just saying each day will get a little bit better. So just keep that in mind. There still seems to be oh, maybe some little obstacles that might be coming your way, but that's okay. We all have obstacles.
Okay.
And one last thing, they want me to remind you that you have come a really long way. Um, if you just go back through your timeline, they're saying go back just 5 years. And they're saying you have accomplished a lot in these 5 years that you thought that maybe you never would have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So keep that in mind. And they do show me, I love the way they just kind of make it very simple. They showed me a beautiful sun. So I'm staring at that little tiny round circle, uh, and which is kind of fun, but it turned into a beautiful bright sun. And whenever I see that in a reading, it always reminds me of that song, Here Comes the Sun. And that means here comes brightness and better times, because your spirit team says you're ready. You're ready for a change, and you're ready for life to get easier.
I am ready.
And so they said you're almost there, so just hang on, it's coming.
Okay. Well, that was Joe. I hope that helped. He's got a lot on his plate.
Yeah.
If you all would like to be on the show too and get a free mini read from Shari, just send us an email, sherryklein11@gmail.com. Include in the body of the email your name, your email address, and the sentence, I'd like a mini read. That way we can distinguish it from all the other email we get. And if you have any concerns about privacy, that's right. Do what Joe did. Turn the webcam off. Use a different name like Joe did. That's not Joe's real name. No problem. It's very confidential. Just whatever's comfortable for you. We will get back with you if you're selected. We'll send you the date and time and a URL where you can click in. Pretty easy to do, and get on the show. Get a reading from Shari. So pretty easy. Hello to Debbie Cancel. Welcome
Hi,
to the
Deb.
show.
Can I? It feels like Irene wants me to give her just a little bit of a message. Um,
Oh, okay.
Debbie, your spirit team wants me to tell you to, you're the only one that can stop that repetitive thinking in your brain. And they're asking you to give your brain, I guess, a break from the worries, because the worries seem to be the same worries that go over and over and over. And they're saying you're the only one that can stop it, and try to fill your mind with mm, more happy thoughts, or something besides the repetitiveness. And that will help you in a lot of different ways. It will give you more energy, it will make you feel better. So that is from your spirit team. Just a little message for you, Debbie.
All right, good. Let's move on. We have
Okay.
our main topic for the day. Your Paranormal Adventures, another edition.
Yeah.
This one involves um, the Ghost Adventures guy. What is his name?
Zach Baggin.
Zach Baggins on the show.
Yeah.
Should be interesting. Uh, Take it away. I'd
Oh,
love to hear it.
okay. Um, my husband and I went to Vegas with another couple, and it's a haunted mansion um, that Zach bought. He turned it into a museum very close to the strip in Vegas. So I thought, hey, this would be a great idea. Let's go to this haunted museum. Well, famous last words.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, for years I would go to haunted cemeteries, insane asylums. We do ghost hunts in haunted houses. So I really wasn't thinking too much about this, and I didn't do any research on it before we got there. So we get there, and I told my husband, I said, "Ooh, let's make sure let's envision a ball of golden light around us because we don't want to bring home any hitchhikers." And so we walk in, first place where first room, and like I said, this is a mansion that he had turned into a museum. And all of these items people have sent him or he's bought, and they're all haunted or they have some sort of attachments, negative energies. I mean, you could feel it the minute you walked in this place. So the first room is filled with all these dolls. I am scared to death of dolls. Um, I always have been. It was so creepy.
I
Dolls
hate
are,
dolls too.
you don't like dolls either?
No, their eyes, they're like staring at you. Like,
Yeah. And it's so easy that's one of the easiest things for spirit to manipulate is to go into a doll. Um, because it's just like our body. So it's easy for them to slip into that. So
uh,
we're in the doll room, and of course they have a guided tour. And there was maybe six of us, two other people I think in our group, and then the person that took us around and explained everything. Then we went through a section, and I am not scared of clowns at all. This was terrifying. It was like all of these clowns and just really loud. If you were scared of clowns, you probably would have a heart attack going through this
yeah,
hallway.
I'm not thrilled about clowns either.
You're not. They never really bothered me at
So,
all.
so
Yeah.
remind me never to go there.
Oh, I had no idea what we were in store for.
Jeez.
And in each room, and there's a lot of them, I can't remember. I know there was one like Charles Manson. There was a painting of him, but his eyes were from his ashes where he was cremated.
Ooh,
And I mean, these are horrific, very evil people,
yeah,
and there's a lot of that in there. That Dr. Gavorkian, the one who would people would go to him and he would pretty much kill them.
yeah, Kevorkian, yeah.
Yeah, however you say his name. They had his van in this room. Like they had to knock out a wall, get this van in there. And it was like one of those little beetle bugs, but it looked like a inside of a ambulance. When I was in that room, I thought I was going to faint. It
Really,
was the energy was so sad and depressed. And on the wall were pictures of people that he helped cross over and stuff.
ugh,
Um, they had like haunted mirrors. They had this doll. It's a really haunted doll. I think her name was Peggy. In a glass case, and they tell you not to look at her in the eye, which makes you want to look at her when you go in. And so
yeah,
they're like, okay, now when you go in, I forget kind of how they said it, but you had to be really nice to her and say, "Hi, Peggy," and then you walk around, and on the way out you'd have to go bye. And I thought, oh, this is silly, but I did it. And then later on, one of the guides told us, we had two guides at different points, and they both said that they knew that that doll went home with them some nights. And I'm like, how do you know that? And they're like, oh, we'd have like doors slam and lights turn on and all kinds of paranormal stuff. And then they'd go to work the next day, almost like she'd go back to work with them. Kind of strange.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
then they had a chair in there, and that chair was really, oh, a lot of negative energy on this chair. And this chair was uh, in a room where there was exorcisms taking place. And they said during the exorcisms, I think, now don't quote me, but I thought they said the chair would like start to rock by itself or would even vanish and then reappear. And that chair
Yeah.
was in there. Yeah. And
Mm.
just like in your house, the walls of your home and everything in your home, it attracts the energy in the home. So if there's always screaming and fighting and yelling, it gets absorbed into all of these items and in the home. And if you were to take it and sell it, a chair or a table, the person who buys they could pick up on that energy because it's embedded in there. So that makes sense with that chair. Then they had a room. I won't go through every room because I can't remember. They had a room, and this one was really heavy. He recreated like a little stairs in a basement of this home, and they called it, what was the name of it? A demon house in Gary, Indiana. Did you ever hear that story?
No.
It's about, oh, people moved in there and they had three young children, like 9 and some other ages. I'm not quite for sure. But these children started getting possessed by demons. And it's documented. Um, they've had, child protection services. And there's even videos out there on the internet where one of them, I think it was in a hospital, where one of these children walked up a wall backwards when he was possessed.
Really?
Oh, it is. Yeah, I saw the video and it is terrifying. But Zach bought this house eventually because the people moved out, and he bought that house and tore it down. And then he took some of the bricks and stuff from the basement and part of the steps and recreated it in this room. It was, I don't know why anybody would want all of that negative energy. I mean, that just can't be
Yeah.
good. So then
Mm.
one of the last things is that divot box. Before you go into this room, they say, you don't have to go in if you don't want. And there was a little part of me that's like, I don't think I'll go in there. And then I thought, oh, I'll go in. What's it gonna hurt? And
Right.
so it's
Famous last words.
yeah. So it's this wooden box. It's like a little wine thing or something. But it is said to have these demonic spirits trapped in this box. Now they don't know how many. So here's the box. It wasn't too big from what I remember. And then around the box was salt and sage. And then around that was this thick bulletproof glass. And it was a big enclosure. And I think I remember etched in the glass was the Lord's Prayer. And it might have been in different languages too, because I seem to remember where our guide was saying it was the Lord's Prayer. So I think there were, like I said, 6 of us in the group. And of course, I was the last one, which I did not like. And we walked around the whole perimeter of the room around this thing. So we get halfway around, and I could feel something coming up on my back. And it was like I could tell it was a negative energy. So I started to say the Lord's Prayer because I thought, I'm not taking
Yeah.
any hitchhikers home. So we walk out of the room. The thing is over. We go back to Vegas, get our gambling on for a day or two and come home and nothing. But as each day went by, I started getting really negative and really hateful. And it got worse at like very gradual, day after day after day. So one day after a couple of weeks, my husband's like, uh, I think you have an attachment. You got to get rid of it. You brought something home. And and I thought, oh my God, maybe he's right. And see, they're sneaky. These little evil spirits can be very tricky. If I would have walked out of there and instantly known, I would have known I had an attachment and worked on getting rid of it. But they come on so gradual, you don't even know what's happening. So my husband said that to me. So that night I was laying in the bed and I'm sitting there and I said, okay. And I said, Lord, help me to get rid of this attachment or whatever this is. I want this gone. So I started saying the Lord's Prayer. And when I did, I started vibrating. And it started at my feet and then it kind of started going further up. The more that I said the Lord's Prayer, I was about halfway in the middle of it. I was like vibrating off the bed like an inch. I wasn't convulsing, but I was shake, and it got like to my stomach, and I thought there was one part of me that's like, you know what, just quit. Like you're going to explode. I didn't know what was going to happen. It was just freaking me out. And then another part of me is like, no, keep going. And I said it, and when I said amen at the end, I could feel something shoot out of the top of my head. Just like in the ghost movies, when you see a ghost walking through somebody and they go, oh, that's kind of literally what it did.
Shot
out of my head.
Exorcist scene, right?
Yeah, it was
like the movie.
It was creepy.
Yeah.
And then when
you didn't pea soup or anything, did you?
No, and my head wasn't spinning around. Who knows? It could have been, but I'm telling you, it is not funny, really. Wow. And I mean, we can laugh at it now, but when it shot out of me, I felt this sense of peace, and I thought, "Yay!" And then I thought, "Oh my God, I hope it didn't like jump into my husband or in my son in the other room." So, of course, we talked about it the following days after that. But, even the moral of this story is we did the protection around us. And people are like, oh, well, if your light is so bright, you wouldn't be able to pick up an attachment. I beg to differ. I think those are the ones they want to attach to. Why would they want to attach to somebody negative? They're already on their team, Right. They want to jump in and bring down the light. So yeah, so that was my
crazy
story.
Yeah.
And I won't go to another haunted place because of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
It is creepy, like evil, and I don't know why anybody would want to collect all that stuff.
Some people like that. Some people like horror movies.
Yeah, I
can't get it. I can't watch those things.
I can't either. I don't like scary movies or anything.
All right. Well, that was a pretty cool little trip for you.
Yeah. I think I'll just stick to gambling when I go to Vegas next time.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Debbie says thank you.
You're welcome.
Reading. Debbie's trying new things, Indian music. Which really, coincidentally, we just got done talking to Dr. Jim Kluinski a few days ago with his Tibetan, well, it's not India, but Tibetan singing bowls. We've got a video coming up in a couple of weeks on that. So
yeah,
that might be interesting for you.
Yeah, good for you, Debbie.
All right, so we want to go into some alphabet messages, Shari?
Sure.
All right, Shari's going to provide a spiritual message to everyone, either listening to the show live right now or through a pre-recorded version of this. It'll work either way. So everyone watching the show right now needs to select a letter. It's either going to be A, B, or C. Now don't think about it. Whatever immediately popped into your head when I first said to pick a letter, that's your letter. We want this to come from spirit, not through your own mind. And if you think about it a little bit, then that's coming through your mind. Okay, so
Right.
you should all have a letter. Time for Shari. Are
Okay.
you ready?
Yep. Okay. Come on, Irene. Let's see what we got here. Irene is telling me if you pick the letter A, she's showing me an ant. And ants can carry, I don't know how many times their weight. And they're telling me that you have been working very hard and you've been building a mountain and you're working hard, and they're just saying it's sometimes you can take a rest, take a step back. It's kind of funny. It's kind of like the message that we gave Debbie earlier. So they're saying keep keep doing what you're doing, and that tomorrow is a new day. Um, Sometimes things don't have to change in your world in order for your attitude to change or your emotions. So hang in there, and life will, it's ebb and flow. If you go back through your timeline, when things are going great and super and wonderful and awesome, they don't last. The same is true for when things are not going so good. That doesn't last either. It's a roller coaster ride. So they're saying just stay on and just ride it out. All right. If you pick B, Irene's funny. She goes, let's make it about a bee. Huh? And she says, just like the real bees, they're needed in this world, and so are you. And they're saying that you help more people than what you know. And take the time to strike up conversations, even with strangers at a store, at a gas station. You could help brighten someone's day on a level that you might not even understand how much you can help a person by just showing them that they're worthy of conversation and that somebody reaches out to them. So that's for the letter B. All right. What have we got here? Irene's funny. She goes, let's do C for cat. And she's saying, cats can see in the darkness, and they said, so can you. And that you're going to be able to see through the darkness in people and see their light, regardless of how negative or hateful a person might be. You are going to understand that it really probably doesn't have anything to do with you, that it's probably all about them, and that you will be able to see their light and the good things about them. And then you can work with building that up in the other person instead of focusing on the things about them that you don't like and maybe striking an argument. They're saying you can switch it around. And sometimes that's all it takes to just diffuse a situation. So those are your alphabet messages. I hope that everyone liked them and that they find them beneficial.
Okay, great. Well, we'll see now if anybody has any comments related to the alphabet messages, or if anyone had a message that resonated with them, that eventually helped them, then let us know. Put it in the comments section. Send us some email. We'd love to hear it. Got a question from Debbie
Okay.
about cleansing. Cleanse sage inside your home. Do you need to do it outside, or is it open, or is it so open the bad energy doesn't stay there?
Okay. I I do some clearing on the outside of my house, and I do it in my garage, and I do it inside of my car as well. And I'll burn sage with the same ritual that I do inside of the home. One thing you can do too is before you come into the doors of your home, you can line them with salt. Or even the outside windowsills, although it's not going to last long during the first rain or when it blows. Um, but I've done that before. And you could go outside your home and sage if you'd like. I don't really sage outside my home, but it's not going to hurt.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
Good. Oh, and Debbie says her A reading was spot on for us, so that's good.
okay, good.
I think that'll do it.
Okay.
We've got all of our stuff done. Anything else you want to share before we take off?
No, I think that's about it.
All
You're
right.
welcome, Debbie. I see where she put awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody, thanks for tuning in for today's show, and thanks to our guest Joe, um, who agreed to share his readings with us. We hope you liked it. As always, if you have a topic or anything you'd like to discuss, then send us an email. Then we'll try and make that happen.
Yeah.
Also, if you'd like to book your own private reading with Shari, go to psychicshari.com, click on the Schedule Now button. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as well as click on that little bell icon so you can be notified when new videos are posted. And that will do it.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.
Thanks,
We'll see you
everybody.
next Saturday.
Okay.